didn't work out and we divorced. If any young people are reading this, heed my warning. Don't stay with someone just because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Story 64. I felt attracted as I fell in love. I knew he would ask me out and even sought advice on how to turn him down without jeopardizing our friendship. When I intended to say no, a yes escaped my lips. I thought fate required him to be part of my life temporarily. I was wrong. We fell in love and moved in together within 2 months. We have been together for 14 years now. Story 65. I wouldn't do it because I believe people deserve to be with someone who genuinely wants them. I also wouldn't want to be with a guy who is not attracted to me. Story 66. I am currently in a situation where we share similar interests and hobbies. Our sense of humor aligns well, and the arrangement is extremely convenient. This partnership is beneficial as it provides transportation for me due to my disability and helps split rent, making it easier for both of us, considering that living alone is not feasible. Additionally, I find it challenging to connect with anyone I am genuinely attracted to. Story 67. I dated him because everyone said he was nice and gentle. However, every time I saw him sleeping, I felt deep sadness because of his appearance. He turned out to be a horrible person, and I was traumatized for a long time after our relationship ended. Story 68. I got to know someone through work who was a very nice guy, successful but not very attractive. He was 6 feet 3 inches tall and probably weighed 285 pounds, much larger than my preference. However, I gave him a chance. He was easygoing, an indoors person who enjoyed wine, fine dining, and expensive cars, but he couldn't screw in a light bulb, which was the opposite of me. We eventually broke up because, after a while, I just couldn't look at him anymore. Story 69. I was 26, and no one had really been interested in me before. I liked him as a person and thought that would be enough, but it led to a lack of desire. Story 70. I initially found her attractive, but by the time we broke up, I found her practically repulsive. I don't think her appearance changed much during that time. I guess my preferences changed significantly. Story 71. My first boyfriend was kind when we got together, and I genuinely didn't care that I wasn't physically attracted to him. Story 72. She was the kindest person I had ever met, so I naturally ignored her physical appearance and was very attracted to her personality. Eventually, other flaws emerged over time, and we could not get along. I would have stayed with her if we had resolved our issues because looks fade and personality deepens. Story 73. I was 16 and had never been in a relationship or liked a girl before. I didn't think she was unattractive. She just wasn't really my type. However, she was fun to hang out with, so I decided to give it a shot. The relationship didn't last long because she turned out to be unstable, and things got worse after I broke up with her. Story 74. It was a girl who started talking to me on a dating site. She was the first one to ask me out. I thought it was for a serious connection, but it turned out to be just for sex, which was not enjoyable at all. Story 75. I was initially attracted to him, but the more I got to know him, I realized he was unappealing on the inside. The lies he told made him even less appealing. Story 76. I wish I could say he was beautiful on the inside, but he was not. He was unappealing both inside and out, and I struggled with low self-esteem. Story 77. He seemed like a great person and had an appealing quality, but he wasn't as wonderful as I initially thought. Story 78. I talked myself into it due to signs I believed meant he was the one. The relationship started online, so we developed an attachment before interacting over video call and, months later, in person. I did my best to suppress feelings of being turned off, convincing myself I could make it work. However, it wasn't just a physical appearance issue. It was his mannerisms, lack of social awareness, lack of hygiene, and poor fashion sense. We simply didn't have the chemistry in person that we had over text, and we had effectively committed to being serious by the time we finally met 9 months in. This is a significant reason I won't engage in long-distance relationships again. Both parties deserve to be attracted to each other and to find each other appealing. Story 79. When I met my ex, he wasn't drop-dead gorgeous at first sight, but he wasn't unattractive either, more like average. However, as my emotional attraction to him grew, so did the physical attraction. I found myself very sexually attracted to him. I probably wouldn't feel the same way now if I ran into him. I cannot imagine being with someone I found unattractive. It wouldn't be fair to either of us. Story 80. Physical attraction is an illusion. It is a collection of personal biases that has nothing to do with the person you are looking at. The phrase beauty is in the eye of the beholder means that your ability to find beauty in another person determines attraction, not their appearance. When you marry someone and live up to your vows, you are bound to a person who will get older, gain weight, and become less healthy every day for the rest of your life. How is that supposed to work? It's not magic. It's an investment. Older married people who have sustained their love and tended their marriage often say their spouse is the most beautiful in the world. Are they lying? No. They have spent time searching, exploring, and finding beauty in their partner that no one else will ever know. No one else is qualified to know. They have an artist's eye for one particular muse that no one could ever match. If you are in a relationship